Do you remember the time Lois wanted to cheat on Peter with the handyman? She tried to seduce him in all sorts of ways, not knowing that her daughter Meg also had a crush on the handyman. This led to a rivalry between the two, with everything spiraling into a chaotic and tragic ending. It all started when Stewie bought a treadmill but set it to lightning speed, causing it to go out of control. The machine threw him into the wall, leaving a big hole. Peter tried to fix the damage, but instead of repairing it, he got distracted playing with a cheap Chinese toy. Frustrated, Lois called a handyman. When the handyman, named Jimmy, arrived, Lois was immediately smitten and started acting like a teenager with a crush. She flirted with him using his tools and made suggestive jokes, heating things up and almost losing her composure. While Jimmy fixed the hole in Stewie's room, Lois kept staring at him with dreamy eyes. Things took a bizarre turn when Meg also developed a crush on Jimmy. As he finished his work, both Lois and Meg started making suggestive comments, leaving Jimmy confused and uncomfortable. Seconds later, Lois and Meg asked Jimmy to come back the next day to fix the dishwasher, even though he insists it looks fine. Determined to have him return, they start breaking things around the house. Jimmy reluctantly agrees to come back. The next day, Lois dresses as attractively as possible, declaring that men are most drawn to long legs. Not wanting to be outdone, Meg uses stilts to make her legs appear long too. When Jimmy arrives, Lois barges into the room where he's working, but to her surprise, Meg shows up seconds later, flaunting her makeshift long legs. This leads to an absurd fight between the two, using their legs to outshine one another. Both end up tripping and falling, embarrassing themselves. Jimmy notices but tries to remain professional. They ask him for a moment alone to talk. In private, Lois and Meg argue over who deserves to have Jimmy. Unable to agree, they decide to compete for his attention, each trying to win him over. Their antics escalate from shameless flirting to baking cookies, but nothing works. Things get worse when Lois brings Jimmy lemonade, and a jealous Meg activates the sprinklers, causing Lois to slip. In the chaos, Lois accidentally knocks over Jimmy's ladder, resulting in an electrical accident that sends him to meet St. Peter. At Jimmy's funeral, both Lois and Meg feel guilty and vow never to act like that again. However, moments later, Jimmy's twin brother appears. Lois hugs him for comfort, but seconds later, she flashes seductive looks to annoy Meg. The twin quickly leaves, mentioning he has to head to Florida, leaving both women empty-handed in the end.